Oh my gosh, maybe you'll see some in there.
Here at the Science Center, and we're so happy to welcome you today to spend some time learning, having fun, and of course watching our new film about dinos. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the land on which we're gathered. For thousands of years, this has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to live, work, learn, and play on this land. Thank you for joining us today for this exclusive preview screening of Dinosaurs of Antarctica. Members are the very first audience to see this film here at the Science Center, and we're so glad to be able to join you for this special event. In just a few minutes, we'll begin the film, but before we do, I wanted to remind you that we'll be joined by a special guest after the show. Paleontologist David Evans oversees dinosaur research at the Royal Ontario Museum. His projects include the first identification of bone cancer in a dinosaur, as well as the discovery of Zool, an armored dino named after the monster in the original Ghostbusters film. We'll also have a prize draw after the film, and you'll be happy to know that everyone who booked their tickets in advance has automatically been entered. You have to be in the theater to win, so make sure that you stick around until the very end. Enjoy, everyone.
The southern hemisphere and why these animals evolved to be so interesting and so unusual. And as the film alluded to, it's because the evolution of life and the evolution of our planet are so intimately related. So as Pangaea broke up into first Gondwana and Laurasia, and then our world today took shape, the dinosaurs were passengers on those island continents, progressively evolving in more and more isolation and taking their incredible forms. In this exhibition, for those of you who saw it, Cryolophosaurus was featured front and center, and we did a new reconstruction of Cryolophosaurus. Another dinosaur featured is a very close relative of the Gracillosaurus. This is massive Spondylus. It's a cousin of the long-necked giant sauropod dinosaurs. And I've had a long history of working with this particular animal. I've done over 5 expeditions to South Africa. This animal is 190 million years old, the same age as Cryolophosaurus, and very close proximity because, of course, South Africa and Antarctica were connected this time. And I worked on some of the oldest known dinosaur embryos at the time. This is a little tiny baby dinosaur, all curled up in an egg the size of a large chicken egg. That was found, and I helped discover the world's oldest dinosaur nesting site of these animals in South Africa. Here's me studying one of the nests that I found there. And this allowed us to piece together an amazing story of communal nesting, sort of like birds do today, as well as this repeated nesting by this dinosaur colony in the same spot, literally year after year. And so this is called nest site fidelity, and this takes these what we typically consider advanced behaviors that we associate with living dinosaurs today, birds, and brings them right down to the base of the dinosaur family tree, right when dinosaurs were taking over the planet after the end of Triassic extinction. But I want to bring it back to Dinosaurs of Canada, because we're in Canada today and we have polar dinosaurs that are exciting and important. And their stories are some of the stories that I've helped to work on, but many of you might not be familiar with the dinosaur record from the Canadian North. How many of you here knew that we had Arctic dinosaurs in Canada? Some of you. The story of how we find and extract them is very similar to the story that you've been presented here in Antarctica. It's a very challenging environment to collect these dinosaurs, but when we find them, they're very important. I bet you when you think of dinosaur collecting in Canada, you think of a place like this, right? These are the Badlands of Alberta. When I was 5 or 6 years old, like many of you are here, a little older, I got to go out to Alberta and see the Badlands and see the Royal Trail Museum there, and it's a truly special place. In Alberta, There's about 80 to 100 species of dinosaurs that have been discovered in the last century or so. Of the total 1,000 dinosaurs that we know of on the planet today, or that we know of scientifically today, that's about 10% of the world's dinosaur species are known from Canada, which is incredible when you think about it. We have one of the best records of dinosaurs anywhere in the world, and it's very special. So you might ask then, why are there so many dinosaurs in Alberta? And just a smattering, you can see the blue dots here, of a few localities in Arctic Canada or in the East Coast or in the West Coast. Why is Alberta so special? Well, let's take a look, and it will allow you to understand why dinosaurs from the polar regions are so rare. So first, we have to know what we're talking about. When we're talking about dinosaurs, we're talking about a very specific group of organisms that all descended from a single common ancestor that originated back in the Triassic and had special adaptations of the hind limbs that brought the hind limbs directly underneath the body.
Hello, I'm Teddy, and today we have Dinosaurs of Antarctica, which is a movie. You're probably wondering, what is the name? Dinosaurs of Antarctica. There's no dinosaurs, and there's certainly not. If there was, they wouldn't be in Antarctica. Well, a very, very long time ago, Antarctica used to be a part of Gondwana, and before that, a part of Pangaea, and this film talks about dinosaurs that lived on Antarctica, which used to be a part of a bigger continent. Pangaea, which was basically all the continents combined, and Gondwana, which was India, Africa, South America, and Antarctica, and also Arabia. The continental shift kind of like affected the temperature of the island, and it made it like cold, because it used to be like I don't know, somewhere here maybe. No, it used to be like right here. It used to be like right here maybe, but now it's like down here. So I think, yeah, it was like somewhere up here, but now it's down here. So that they kind of explain that. They also explain what types of what beings lived on this continent, and kind of what sets of dinosaurs and stuff lived on this continent. And then they went through the different periods, like the Jurassic period and like the Cretaceous and stuff. They went through kind of like every single one, kind of explaining what happened. Not like exactly what happened, but like to explain the really big events. They're kind of like a night to give you they explain different events to give you an idea of what it was like in Antarctica at this time. There was also some like CGI and stuff where they showed like dinosaurs and stuff, like showed dinosaurs visually, and kind of to give you somewhat of an idea. And it explained that the Great Dying was probably caused by the increase of CO2, and I think it was by the increase of CO2 and like volcanic eruptions, and they basically made a lot of species of dinosaurs kind of die. That's why it's called the Great Dying, because it was It was dying. It was great. It was big. They flew over to Antarctica to find some dinosaur fossils, and they found I think, yeah, they were looking for different rocks. They found some dinosaur fossils, and they kind of like showed how they excavated. Is that the word? Yeah, I think that's like how they excavated fossils from. Is it excavate? You know, they explain how they harnessed the fossils from different rocks and from the ground. As a part of like meat at the end, there was a real researcher that came up and explained how Alberta is a good place to find dinosaur fossils. There's the main reasons on why it's a really good place is because number one is it was a good place for the dinos, for the dinos to live, because there was a big lake in Alberta, like there was a big river, just like this. There's a giant river, like went through here, and Alberta was there, so not that. Yeah. And another reason why is because it's water. There was water there. The water would, like, the sedimentary rocks would form with like the fossils and like preserve the fossils and stuff. And also it's a good place to find, like, it's a really easy place to find rocks, and like it was a really easy place to find rocks. So you can, there's a lot of rocks which might have dinosaur fossils in there. There's some areas where there's like exposed rocks, and then you can like, maybe one of them it could be a dinosaur fossil or somewhere under there. I don't know, how that would work. He also said that also a place where you might find some fossils is like up here in like the north, like I don't know, like somewhere like there, like equally or like above there somewhere. There you can find some dinosaur fossils there, but they're mainly like down here or like in like up here. So that's where the dino fossils are. And hope dinosaurs are pretty cool, and there's a pretty good amount of dinosaur fossils here in Canada, here in Canadian land. Maple syrup. So yeah. Don't forget to like the video for more people to see. I mean, if you want to, you can like the video for more people to see. You can subscribe to see more videos that are similar to this, or you can just do it. And bye. Roar. Superman.